Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines.
President Donald Trump expresses confidence that a deal with Iran could be near, saying negotiations were going extremely well, while noting both direct and indirect talks are underway. He claimed recent US strikes effectively achieved regime change in Tehran, though military operations continue. Trump highlighted Iran's agreement to allow up to 20 oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz as a sign of respect, underscoring the dual-track approach of diplomacy and military pressure. Pakistan is playing a key mediating role. Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar said Islamabad is preparing to host meaningful talks between Washington and Tehran, with a quadrilateral meeting, including Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Egypt, emphasizing de-escalation and regional stability. Iran, however, warned the US against humiliation and threatened strong retaliation if ground troops were deployed, signaling continued tension despite diplomatic efforts.
US President Donald Trump has warned that Washington could completely obliterate Iran's energy and water infrastructure if a deal is not reached soon. In a social media post, Trump said the threat would also apply if the Strait of Hormuz is not immediately reopened to global shipping. He added that the United States is in what he described as serious discussions with a more reasonable leadership in Iran, claiming progress toward ending the conflict. Spain has closed its airspace to US aircraft involved in operations against Iran. Defense Minister Margarita Robles said Spain will not allow the use of its airspace or jointly operated military bases for actions linked to the conflict. The move marks a further step by Spain to distance itself from military involvement in the ongoing war. 2 Chinese container ships have successfully passed through the Strait of Hormuz on their second attempt. According to ship tracking data, the vessels had initially turned back into the Gulf amid rising tensions, but later resumed their journey and exited into open waters. Their passage highlights cautious navigation through one of the world's most critical and volatile shipping routes.
Iran confirms the death of Revolutionary Guards Navy commander Alireza Tangsiri following severe injuries, Iranian media reported, based on a statement by the Guards. Israel's defense minister, Israel Katz, said on March 26, in a precise and lethal operation, the IDF eliminated the commander of the IRGC Navy, Tangsiri, along with senior naval command officials. Meanwhile, Saudi Foreign Minister Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud has met Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif in Islamabad as Pakistan leads regional efforts to ease tensions. Both sides reaffirmed close coordination and support, with Pakistan expressing solidarity with Saudi Arabia during the ongoing crisis. Shehbaz Sharif also had meetings with the foreign ministers of Turkey and Egypt in Islamabad, as Pakistan intensifies efforts to ease tensions in the Iran conflict. Foreign Ministers Hakan Fidan and Badr Abdulati joined senior Pakistani officials, including Ishaq Dar, for high-level consultations. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has ordered an expansion of military operations in southern Lebanon, citing ongoing rocket attacks from Hezbollah and rising security threats along the border. Netanyahu said the move aims to push threats further from Israel and strengthen northern security, following previous plans to extend the buffer zone to the Litani River. The escalation comes after continued Hezbollah rocket fire, triggered by recent US and Israeli strikes on Iran. Casualties continue to mount. Over 1,100 people have been killed in Lebanon, including civilians, while 4 Israeli soldiers have died. US President Donald Trump said he had no problem with oil shipments to Cuba, reversing his previous stance as a sanctioned Russian tanker neared a Cuban port with a crucial crude delivery. The move comes amid a 3-month blockade that has worsened Cuba's energy crisis, causing blackouts and rationing. Trump emphasized sympathy for the Cuban people, calling the government corrupt and saying the shipment would not alter the regime's fate. The Russian tanker Anatoly Kolodkin, carrying about 650,000 to 730,000 barrels of crude, is expected to ease shortages for up to a month. global oil prices surged sharply with Brent crude climbing above $116 a barrel, its highest level since March, after Iran warned it was prepared for a possible US ground invasion amid the ongoing Middle East conflict. The spike reflects deepening market anxiety as the US-Israel war with Iran enters its fifth week, with regional attacks widening and essential infrastructure threatened. Analysts say the nearly closed Strait of Hormuz, a crucial route for about 1/5 of global oil and liquefied natural gas supplies, has tightened supply risks and contributed to one of the steepest energy price jumps in decades. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps claims to have struck an industrial complex in southern Israel, triggering a fire and hazardous materials alarm at the Ramat Hovav industrial zone. Emergency crews moved quickly to contain the blaze and secure the area, as residents were told to stay indoors amid fears of toxic exposure. Officials say no major chemical leak has been confirmed, but the incident highlights the risks to critical infrastructure as the conflict escalates.
That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.